This Ramadan was supposed to be more peaceful. West Asia was marking it without curbs after 2 whole years. But in Palestine, tensions are escalating. Clashes broke out in the West Bank. Several Palestinians have been killed by Israeli forces. Authorities are carrying on more and more raids in the occupied territories after a wave of attacks. So, as the region remains tense, will these tensions escalate into an all-out conflict like last year? We tell you more.
Over 16 Palestinians killed, a wave of attacks in Israel, clashes in the Al-Aqsa compound, and the deadliest wave of violence since 2016. Palestinians and Israelis have witnessed an increase in violence, especially over the past month, and now during Ramzan. Several attackers targeted Israeli cities. Israeli forces stepped up raids. There were shooting and multiple arrests, with Palestinians killed across the West Bank. So far, 4 attacks took place in 4 Israeli cities. The attack killed 14 people. On the other hand, Israel increased its raids on Palestinian towns and villages. This led to daily clashes and arrests. Over 16 Palestinians, including teens, have been killed. The rise in violence is not an isolated phenomenon. Palestinians are slamming Israeli policies in occupied territories and lack of any strong leadership. Protests waged in cities across the West Bank, with shops and businesses shuttered in Ramallah. The latest bloodshed coincides with the holy month of Ramzan. For many, this is a deja vu moment. Last year, violent raids on the Al-Aqsa mosque compound led to this. A deadly 11-day war between Israel and Hamas in Gaza itself. The conflict killed 200 people and battered the Strip. So, the biggest question now is, could this lead to an all-out war? More Israeli raids means more uptick of violence, like this one at the Al-Aqsa mosque compound. This is where thousands gather to pray at night. This is where the Israeli police clashes with Palestinians, injuring several of them. Israeli police are said to have entered in force before dawn. Over 59 wounded people were evacuated to hospitals. One of the guards at the site was shot in the eye with a rubber bullet. There is now fears of a new conflict between Hamas and Israel. Hamas has called for a Palestinian general mobilization. They are calling on people to confront Israeli incursions. Tensions have been simmering in the holy city of Jerusalem. This year, the Muslim holy month of Ramzan coincides with both the Jewish celebration of Passover and Easter. In focus is the Al-Aqsa Mosque. This is Islam's 3rd holiest site, a silver-domed mosque inside the 35-acre compound. This complex is referred to as Al-Haram al-Sharif, or the Noble Sanctuary, by Muslims. But the location is also considered holy in Judaism. For Jews, it is known by the name of Temple Mount. Jews believe the compound is where the biblical Jewish temples once stood. Since decades, it has been a flashpoint, the most contested territory in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Currently, Jordan acts as the custodian of Al-Aqsa. This was agreed to by both Israel and Jordan in a peace treaty. They decided that the Islamic Trust would have control over matters inside the compound. On the other hand, Israel would control external security. Non-Muslims would be allowed onto the site during visiting hours, but they would not be allowed to pray there. Recent calls by Israeli settler groups have further escalated tensions. They want Jews to raid the Al-Aqsa mosque compound, asking them to perform the Passover sacrifice there on April 15th. For Palestinians, this is yet another threat, yet another Israeli attempt to change the holy site's sensitive status quo. Currently, the situation is gradually towards an escalation. The conditions are ripe for an explosion. Will this lead to an all-out war again? Only time will tell. West Asia Bureau, WION World is One.
Presenting the News app, available on Google Play and App Store. Download it now.